actually can't believe that this is true. And all the NFL insiders are now saying, like, this is not a drill. This is actually happening. All the insiders have this now. The Dallas Cowboys are trading Micah Parsons to the Green Bay Packers. The Packers will sign Parsons to a 4-year, $188 million extension with $136 million guaranteed. Parsons gets $47 million per year, so $5 million more than the expectation was to make him the highest paid non-quarterback per year in NFL history. So Micah Parsons traded to the Green Bay Packers. We don't have the compensation yet on this deal. I am sure that this is coming in moments here to find out what the Green Bay Packers gave up for Micah Parsons. So, look, obviously I'm way wrong with what I said in the first hour. I thought I was way right. I thought there was no way that this could possibly happen. And yet here we are. And I can't believe that it's come to this for the Dallas Cowboys. And if you're a Cowboys fan, and I want to wait until we get the compensation to see what this is. Could this be Herschel Walker 2.0? Did they get young players back and draft picks back to be able to justify this trade being made? But I'll tell you, so I don't even want to go into if you're a Cowboys fan, you should be sick right now. Let's see what the compensation is. But man, it's almost like, do you even care? Because we're talking years down the road if this is going to be something that's good for the Dallas Cowboys. Because, season's over for Dallas. I'll tell you, their games are going to be fun to watch because their offense is going to be absolutely electric this season. And they're going to be throwing the ball all over the yard, and their defense is going to give up tons of points. And now without Micah Parsons, I don't think this edge rush is going to be able to be any good. This defense is going to stink, and they're going to be involved in a bunch of shootouts here. So they're going to be fun for fantasy. So this is good for George Pickens, and it's good for CeeDee Lamb, and it's good for Dak Prescott. But as far as real life goes for the Dallas Cowboys, win total 7.5, they're coming in last in the division, provided that, unless they got back stud players from the Packers in addition to draft picks, and we'll see what the compensation is. And guys, just let me know what we see, when that comes in for Dallas, what they get back from the Green Bay Packers. I'm in absolute disbelief. I did not think that it would come to this. And this is complete and utter mismanagement, obviously, from Jerry Jones, where this is as easy as it gets to pay the all-world pass rusher. Who gives a damn about handshake agreements? You got to work with an agent. That's how business works. I just signed an extension with Odyssey. I could agree to terms with the deal with my bosses at Odyssey, but if my agent's not going to get involved, nothing's going to happen. No, of course nothing's going to happen. This feels to me like Jerry dug in because he was pissed at Parsons and felt like Parsons went back on his word because he bought the Cowboys on a handshake agreement. I don't even know what to say. So we're starting to get the news here as people are tagging Old Takes Exposed. I like when people do that because it gets me more publicity. 2 1s per Bill Zimmerman. And Ian Rappaport of NFL Media says there could be a player coming too. I don't know who that player is. Lucas Van Ness. Let's take a look at the Packers roster and see if we can figure this out. And then we'll have a conversation about Green Bay and what this does for the Packers. Because I'll tell you what, season's over for the Cowboys as far as making the playoffs are concerned. There's no Ewing theory nonsense going on here. The defense falls apart without Parsons. I think they've got no shot. I don't even who could it even be? They've got some good young defensive players, but man, I don't know who it would be. For the Packers, this is really interesting because with Green Bay, I've been saying for the past couple weeks, when handicapping the NFC North, and the teams that I think potentially win the Super Bowl in the NFC, and I had the Packers yesterday on my list as a team that could win the Super Bowl. And the thought was that everything on the Green Bay roster is good to very good. But is any of it great? Now they've got something great. They've got the best young edge rusher in the league in Micah Parsons. So they've got something great right now, the Green Bay Packers do, with Micah Parsons coming in. So now Micah Parsons on one side. Lucas Van Ness can go to the bench. Parsons and Rashawn Gary are your two pass rushers now, with Clark and Wyatt in the middle of the defensive line. Like, I think Edgerrin Cooper has got the chance to be one of the best linebackers in the league. And, like, I don't like Green Bay's corners. And, like, is Hobbs healthy? Here's Keyshawn Nixon. McKinney's a stud, but, like, I don't think the secondary's very good. Like, now the secondary matters way less with Micah Parsons rushing the passer. Man, I can't believe this happened. We got to get the compensation here on this deal. Find out what the Green Bay Packers actually gave up. So, man, let's see. Green Bay, and I'm going to do a little refresh here on BetMGM because all this is happening in real time. And if you're just joining the show, Micah Parsons traded from the Green Bay Packers to the Dallas Cowboys. The line at BetMGM has not moved for Eagles-Cowboys. We're still sitting at Eagles -7. Methinks if you're out there and you like Philly in the game, to maybe take a bite on the Philadelphia Eagles now. And if there are any 6.5s out there, then perhaps that's something you should consider on the Philadelphia Eagles. Because the Eagles' offensive line is badass. The tackles with Lane Johnson and Jordan Mailata. Like, how are the Cowboys getting at Jalen Hurts in this game? And the Eagles are going to run the ball down the Cowboys' throat. So, man, that'd be the first thing I think is, like, the Eagles are going to bomb them. And the over in that game is 47, and it's where it should be now at 47. Like, I think that game's going over the total. Like, the Cowboys are not going to be able to stop the Eagles. And conversely, I've been saying for months now that the Eagles' secondary concerns me. And I like the Cowboys' passing game. Like, I like Dallas's offense. So over 47 would be a look for me in Cowboys-Eagles. And, man, I think the Eagles might thrash Dallas in Week 1. Let's see the Packers spread against the Lions. Green Bay is still a 1.5-point favorite in Week 1. You got to like Green Bay a little bit more because you would assume that Micah Parsons is going to be healthy now, right? Like, look for that second opinion. I would think that second opinion is going to come out that Micah Parsons is healthy and is ready to play now that he's been traded to the Green Bay Packers. Packers 11-1 to win the NFC. It makes them way more likely if they've got one of the best edge rushers in the league on their team now. And, this forces you to rethink the NFC North if you didn't have the Packers there, if you didn't have Green Bay in the playoffs now. Because, look, like, I've been high on the Chicago Bears, and I've been high on the Minnesota Vikings. Like, the Packers literally addressed the thing that I've been asking them to address. Like, where's the greatness on this team? Like, it's all been theoretical for Green Bay. Like, if this happens, and if that happens, then maybe you can make the case for the Packers. Like, they did it here. Like, they did it. They got the guy. They got the great player. They got Micah Parsons. I love this from a Packers perspective. And, guys, do we still not have it? The compensation here. At least 2 first-rounders is what I'm seeing right now. Micah Parsons has released a statement, and I will read it here. Let's see. Cowboys Nation, growing up in Pennsylvania, I cheered for the Cowboys, blah, blah, blah. It's a sad day, but not a bitter one. I'll never forget the joy of draft night, blah, blah, blah. North Texas will continue to be my home in the offseason. Okay, whatever. Thank you, Cowboys Nation, for every cheer, moment, and ounce of love you've showed me. Wearing the star has been the honor of my life. So this is probably done for a little bit. Parsons has his statement released. Absolutely wild. So the Green Bay Packers now way more likely to make the playoffs, win the NFC North, win the NFC. Hell, like, you can make a case that Parsons is that kind of player. He's that good, where he takes a team that's on the cusp and could potentially take them over the line. Where, my initial reaction is, like, I need to rethink this here and have Green Bay in the playoffs in the NFC. Like, they didn't add some jabroni off waivers or sign some dude off the street. This isn't like, we just signed Von Miller. Like, no. We just signed Micah Parsons or traded for Micah Parsons. Insane. Ridiculous. Like, good for them. Good for Brian Gutekunst. Good for Matt LaFleur. Everyone said, no, they never draft a wide receiver in the first round. Here's Matthew Golden in the first round. They never make these big moves like they are the biggest, like, draft and develop team in, like, the history of draft and develop teams. They just blew up their drafts for the next couple years. And worth it to acquire a player of this caliber to bring Micah Parsons in. So Green Bay's playoff price right now at BetMGM, and perhaps our show sponsor, it's Asleep at the Wheel. Let's see. So Green Bay is, I'm going to scroll through a million markets here. Green Bay to make the playoffs, yes, is minus 140. Green Bay's win total is, let's see, over 9. So over 9.5 is way juiced. Okay. Yeah, like I think the Packers are going to win 10 games. So I do like that. And I do think Green Bay is a playoff team now in the NFC. And as far as the Dallas Cowboys go, there's no word on players coming back yet, but I did say in the opening hour of the show that I don't even know who the player coming back could be that's going to make a difference on this team this season. So we just spent a couple minutes praising the Green Bay Packers and saying this makes the Packers way more likely to be a playoff team this year. If you want to bet Green Bay in week 1, want to bet Green Bay to win the division, want to bet Green Bay to make the playoffs, I feel like way better about that now than I did 20 minutes ago. Literally 20 minutes in real time. And for the Cowboys, this team's coming in last in the division. This is going to be the last place team in the NFC East this year. I think the Giants are going to be better. The Commanders will certainly be better. The Eagles will obviously be better. Just to reiterate, Ezeraku maybe can be good. Second-round edge rusher. Dante Fowler. Nealand. Sam Williams. Marcus Lawrence is now in Seattle. Where's the pass rush coming from? How are the Dallas Cowboys going to stop the run this year? How is it happening? The personnel stinks. I've been saying this is a stars and scrubs team. And if you lose the stars, in comes scrubs. Micah Parsons was the biggest star in the Lone Star State. And now he'll have a G on his helmet. Disaster for Dallas. Disaster for Brian Schottenheimer. You wanted to bet Schotty to win Coach of the Year? He actually weirdly makes him a more attractive candidate since the team that he'll get so much credit now if the team's good. But how are they going to be good? How's it happening?